Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm in Schiphol airport. I know what you're thinking, probably thinking that the P is a mispronunciation, but it is called Schiphol. Nothing we can do about it. And I'm waiting for appearance of famous suitcase what got lost in so many different places. Got lost Cape Town, got lost Vienna, got lost on way to Philadelphia. Again, that was a transfer. Where was transfer there? Frankfurt. Everything get lost in Frankfurt. And now look at so once again got lost here because belt is gone. Just a few bags left. This sad collection marching toward the exit there. And several people here sitting still watching. 4, 5, 6 people. At least they're giving chairs. That's one thing. I never saw airport with the chairs, and as well as there's no money to pay for the trolleys. So that's 2 pluses already. Chairs to sit on, like a burnished throne, and the free trolleys with no money to pay. This is already better than number of airports what I've been in. But as you see, horrible long wait for bag, and I already expecting to wait a bit long for it. I went to toilet already before coming here on the way, so it is really long time, and I can tell you it's now 21:02. Oh, new pieces are appearing. This funny box with the red stripes, this was not on before. This red thing I see before. There's a rucksack, that's interesting, that wasn't here. This funny turquoise frog with 4 wheels, that's a strange piece of luggage. Never seen that before on this. I would certainly have remembered this turquoise frog luggage. So, new things coming out. I'm starting to get hopeful that my famous suitcase of many times getting lost will appear on time, and Huliganov will not have to spend night in his underpants. In Etap hotel. I'm going to actually conference, but conference is in Sheraton. So I would like to have a clean shirt on for Sheraton conference, which means I like to have my luggage airport. And the conference organizers say we very lucky we could get special conference rate for overnight for day before conference, 209 euros. So I think to myself, actually a lot of people won't be staying there the night before, and in airport area around Schiphol is lots of hotels. Let me see if I can't get myself better price. And I thought to myself, if I can get price what is, a little bit cheaper, like 150, 140 euros instead of 209 euros, I will go to this other place and save the money. So I start to look, what price I'm getting in an Etap hotel, what is a chain of hotels, going to be clean, going to be like I know and recognize, not a great standard, smaller rooms, nothing special, but the standard. If you've been in them, you know what to expect, and it's comfortable and clean and safe. And I will stay there for 49 euros. I got my booking reference. So I'm expecting to have saved really a lot of money, 160 euros, and I could spend really for the night in the Sheraton. I could spend 4 nights in Amsterdam at the Etap hotel. And what you want for a hotel? Just to be for place for sleep, right? Well, you can sleep in the Etap. It's perfectly same sleep as in Sheraton. You don't get a different sleep there. So my bag still didn't come. And I can tell you, I got a silver card from Czech Airlines, what is in Sky Team. That's the same Aero Club. What is KLM? Air France. So this is the same one I saw before, the box with the stripes on. Here comes that red one, what I've seen plenty time. Here comes the rucksack, nobody claiming turquoise froggy. This is kind of nuts. The bags what come out, nobody want, and the bags what people, here are people not getting the bags they want, including me. So, it's a funny old world, isn't it? Lots of things to talk about what I didn't talk about. Of course, I wrote about. I've got a new blog. It's called Huliganov TV. So anybody want to see again all the things what were put up on this channel to YouTube, I'm putting them up on the blog Huliganov TV, and I probably will have to be a little bit selective if I start to actually put the media straight onto the WordPress, because at the moment I'm not doing it, it's feeding from YouTube. But if I put the medium onto the WordPress, and the maximum you can ever buy is about 25 gigabytes, which is not an awful lot in terms of video. So in comparison with all of this what I got, like all of the radio programs on the channel, and that would be much more than 25 gigabytes, and that's the most you can even purchase for WordPress blog. Now, having got my lovely cases, both of them, I'm in the lovely area of arrivals, Juggy Juice and Event Hotel Desk Airport. I was given some good advice by lady there, and I get to also you can pick up free maps if you like. Maybe I will get that, although I don't need, because I downloaded to my telephone a map. I'll make sure I don't go away from these. You might say they are not looked after. I've been to get some euros from bank machine, because Poland and Britain and other places, and also Czech Republic, are not in eurozone, so I'm not usually to carry them. So here we got interesting display. People who are pioneers of air travel in this country, in this area. You have various of them. This tallest one is doctor, so he gets to have a slightly higher one than the rest. He is a doctor of flying. He's the man who invented air sickness. And this one here, John Block, 1929 to 1994, Nederlandse Luchtvaart pioneer. Yes? He was the first one to invent the tiny little bag that you take your 100 milliliters things and put them into it, and it's see-through, and you can put in there, and then you can take them through the reception. Until this bag was invented, nobody could carry any fluids onto an aeroplane. But thankfully Mr. John Block has invented this, and in gratitude the public has made him from a block of granite. Here is Martin Schröder, no relation to German Chancellor, who signed a pipeline agreement with Russia against everybody's will, and afterwards took a job in Gazprom, no relation to him. He is Luchtvaart pioneer and grondlegger from Martin Air. So he was the person who has been from 1958, 1999, 1998. He's been connected with Martin Air. As you can see, they've all got little rosettes here, like he's got a little rosette here, he's got a pin there, because they are all Freemasons, of course. There's another one here with a thing there, and he's got one there. So this one's got his hands up as well. All the rest are kind of armless people, but he's got his hands, and he hasn't got any rings on these G's and compasses and squares and things, but you know, everybody knows the score anyway. So basically, these gentlemen are the great pioneers. This person invented air sickness, this person invented the plastic bag, this person, he invented the domino system. Now the domino system means when you start off in the morning, the first plane is late a little bit, but then as you go through the afternoon, for example, first plane in the morning late 10 minutes. So because it's got connecting flights, they all have to wait. So the next one is once you in the afternoon, they late probably about 40 minutes to an hour. And then the evening flights are usually 2 hours delayed taking off. This is the Domino system, and he was the gentleman that pioneered that. And finally we have this great inventor of comforts on board the aircraft. He was the inventor of the single small sandwich, made several weeks earlier and still fresh, relatively speaking, and the fact that you can have a choice of 3 types of cold drink and 2 types of warm drink on an airplane. This was his invention for us. Before that, it was not possible to get different things like drinks and food and what have you on the airplane. You couldn't think of having something like a hot food or anything like that. So he came along and invented this cold sandwich what you can have with a very tiny drink on the airplane flight, which sometimes, because of not being able to find time to sit down again on the ground, can be up on the air for 3 hours for a 1.5 hour flight, like today I had coming here from Warsaw to Amsterdam. So, and I had one of these guy's sandwiches there. Thank you, Mr. Peter. Of course, I don't really think these people invented those things. I'm just really being a little bit sarcastic about. Anyway, I don't want to miss my connection, which I will do, because the next one was in 15 minutes, and I can easily talk for 15 minutes and be silly for 15 minutes, but I want to go to the gate, what this lady say, and then get that lovely shuttle bus to my very cheap hotel. Not only is hotel cheap, but also I've got fantastic news, and that is that shuttle bus is completely free. So looking forward to that, that's for sure. So that's Sheraton Hotel, so you can easily go there from a walkway from airport. This is definitely the nearest airport. If you want to have the nearest hotel to the airport, then certainly Sheraton is that hotel. But free shuttle bus, spending no more money, just waiting for shuttle bus. Of course, you might wait a few times because there's a few. There is Etap, Ibis, Mercure and Novotel all coming here to A9 to 13 is this thing here. If you spend any length of time here, then your bags will be taken away and put into a shuttle to a hotel you don't want to go to. One of my favorite things to do, every time a shuttle comes, they've always got on the front the name of the hotel that they are going to. But always the crowd around, they always come to the front and ask anyway whether he is going to some other hotel. Of course, the reason for doing this is that they are trying on the off chance to get quicker, to get a driver who will be friendly and say, oh, I'll drop you on the way, it's okay, I drop you on the way, it's okay. Yeah, but of course they never do, because they are not paid to take to the competition of what they are hotel. So they will take only to hotel where they are going to. This one's Mercure, for example. A little while ago it was NH. Oh, this is Etap. This has got the Etap, so I'm going to that. So just got in there, put back down. This is really self-respecting bus. Complete big size coach. And just to go to the Etap hotel, it's what I like, you know, really sensible. All the other ones were little hoppers. But tiny little Etap hotel, 50 euro a night, got best bus, better than everybody else's bus. Sheraton, which is just across their way there, doesn't even have a bus to go there. You want to go there, you will have to have a long walk across the walkway for your 209 euros conference rate. So, I am happy where I am. It's 29 minutes past 9, should have been 2 hours ago. I will not go to center of Amsterdam. I was hoping to make a film and impress all people who are my friends who are Amsterdamians, like Leon Delicante. If you have not listened to the Jimmy series, you should. The Jimmy series is one of the playlists on my channel, reading of this authoress, one of her fine books. About a year ago I did it, and she lives in Amsterdam and said I should go see her. Well, I'm thinking about it, but you see, I didn't have time, and that's why also ring or arrange anything before, because you never know when things are going to be late. But anyway, I think about it. Of course, Fat Steve from Atlanta is also part-time resident of Amsterdam, but he comes here for substances what I don't want to take. I appreciate the fact that I still got a few brain cells. I need every one I got, so I don't need to kill them. Obviously, Fat Steve think he got too many and want to kill a few. Interesting if he will become more socialist or less socialist when he kill a few more brain cells. I'm just joking, actually, Fat Steve. I know you're not really a socialist. It was just that this Simon Darby accused you of being the socialist because you didn't agree with him. But okay, I know you're not one really. So go ahead, light up, enjoy. And so, in a minute we see what happened. Anyway, fantastic. I was going to say, by the way, a second ago, that always the crowd is coming forward and saying to these little hoppers, are you going to this hotel? Are you going to that hotel? And of course they get a little bit annoyed because they've got the thing is already written on the front of their bus where they're going. And people come and ask them irrelevant questions about other hotels. And sometimes they're even pointing to their logo and saying, like the NH guy, he's pointing to his logo and saying, look, I'm NH. So I'm saying, what is this hotel NH? NH, nobody heard of this hotel. Of course, it's quite a good name of a hotel actually, but I like to kind of provoke people sometime a bit, you know. So off we go. So we say goodbye to the Schiphol Plaza. There's men in cowboy hat down there. Plenty of offices now next to airport. Hope they got proper glass in, so not hearing planes taking off. It's always good to come to Holland while you still can. Holland and Venice before they go underwater. And canals everywhere. There's a little one there, taking the water off of the land and putting back into the sea. Really, it is more like archipelago than real land, normal land. Very big pity I couldn't see this in the day, but what can you do? Maybe I can keep back some film to film in the morning when we come back here from okay, I do that, I think, because not an awful lot is being shown on the screen. I don't think you'll make much out of it, so I will save this. Okay, so this is just to show what you can have for 49 euros. So you got extra bed on the top, so you could have extra child like all on top of you. There's enough for two people here easily. I remember we have this with Elena in the France, and it was perfectly comfortable. So not exactly very symmetrically done, but doesn't matter. Little place to work. You can, this is mosquito net on there. You can pull this down. There is television. You can, not entirely sure what you or you can put your own video camera in if you like. You can put your own audio system in if you want to, or you can push this in there if you want to have. You can plug, you got various things to do. I don't tend to use TV, as you know, but it's there anyway. Here's a little washer basin, so you can wash and have this shave without any problem. This is a little bit more difficult to reach up to open this. Oh, there's a hole in it. And this is nice shower cubicle with nothing but shower in it. So it's quite self-contained. And you've got air conditioning, although you won't need it this time of year. Oh, I turned off the wrong. There's a little toilet as well, but it's okay, you can keep door open and not get claustrophobic if you're on your own. If you're with anybody else, of course, you shouldn't go to toilet and have door open. This is not way to happy relationship with other human being. By all means, you can take baths together, all sorts of things, but when you're having a pool, I think having a Vivi is okay, but having a pool next to other human being is too much. You need at least this much, you need to be on your own, I think. That's why prison is no good. You need to avoid going to prison if you can. So, I want to go eating, so no point in staying here filming a lot of stuff, so I'm going to get my gold list and then I'm going to the restaurant. Incidentally, the book by Ben Elton, Blind Face, here it's what I read recently, also very good book. Of course, I don't share his complete enthusiasm with Christian faith, but then again, I don't think he's really mocking Christian faith in this book. I think what he's mocking is when people switch off the mind. I think it's actually quite an interesting analysis, and I'm not, although I am a believer, and maybe I don't know whether Ben is or not, but in some cases I'm not that far away with the sympathy to his analysis on some of these matters. He portrays society which has been after a ecologically induced flood, and it is completely religious society with a complete dislike of any kind of science. So they've gone out of balance. I always say you need to have both ability to think rational and also to believe. If you shut off one or the other, you like one-eyed men. So here we have examples of people who have only blind faith in their religion and no trust at all in any science. And then at the opposite end you've got people like Richard Dawkins with his Greatest Show on Earth, which have got no faith in faith and only faith in a kind of rational process, expecting it to give all the answers and not accepting anything from supernatural that won't be good enough, even if it happened to be true, because it needs faith. And the only answer for some people is if faith is completely switched off. I think it's as bad as actually switching off the mind. The mind has got two parts, rational part and faith part, and you need both. They're there for a reason. You have both, and they're both given for a reason. Or if you think in evolutionary terms and you believe in evolution, then both the faith and the rationality, they both evolve for a reason. So don't think that you need only part of what you've been given. You come equipped with both ability to believe and the ability to think. Switch off either and it's a disaster. And I think that's really what comes here at the end of this book. It really confirmed that. Okay, in a different way than I would confirm, but it confirmed basically the same thesis. You need both. Alright, so here I am the next morning in Amsterdam, with airports, planes taking off, planes coming down, and here is Etap Hotel. I'm waiting for shuttle to take me back to airport. I didn't film in restaurant over there in that Ibis hotel last night because it was very dark. You wouldn't be able to see anything. I could barely do gold list, it was so dark in there. Don't know why they so mean about the lighting, but food was reasonable. I had to make sure they didn't put any kind of drugs in, because here in Amsterdam is famous for, oh, this Dutch train, for special food, special cakes what have got marijuana in. So had to make sure that nothing of the sort was given to me by accident. So I asked specially, please no drugs in my food. And they are always willing to oblige. If you don't want the drugs, they don't force you to have them usually. That was landing of plane, very low. So here we are, airport of Amsterdam. We are in port, airport of Amsterdam. So we arrive once again Schiphol, the plaza, the shopping center, the lovely big tree, Christmas trees they put here. It's December, no, November actually, they shouldn't have put it up yet by Catholic dogmas, but they did for commercial dogmas, put it up already. There is Sheraton, where I'm spending most of the day today. The sky behind is a little bit grey, but otherwise sun is very bright in the morning. Schiphol. So here we are, Schiphol. This is the Sheraton Schiphol. I better turn off so I got my hands free for unloading suitcase because it's blocking up all the other ones. Always the Dutch people had a battle to keep back the sea, and here we see this battle with the sea represented in an artistic photograph of all of the children playing harp music to keep back the sea. Here they are, all in traditional Dutch hairstyles, playing tulips from Amsterdam to hold back the waves of the sea. They perform almost, they produce almost a musical dike to hold back, and from the smallest of them to the biggest instruments here, they look like a series of waves coming one after the other, going higher and higher as they go up on the shore, echoing the action of the waves as they come in onto the beach also. Very interesting picture here, one of best I've seen for a long time, and evocative of the history, the natural history and the economic history of the wonderful country of Holland. So here we are, welcome to Amsterdam. I'm going home, it was a very short visit. There's the Royal Bank of Scotland group advertising for Amsterdam. Somehow Amsterdam ended up being in Scotland, not in Holland. So Royal Bank of Scotland, make it happen. Welcome to Amsterdam, Royal Bank of Scotland. Sorry, there is control tower, and here is very beautiful, very large. I really, in order to show how large it is, if that doesn't show how large it is, I really don't know. You have to look at the size of people next to it. You can see it's a very, 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 very big Christmas tree, and it's moving in the breeze. Sometimes it was moving even more, looked like it might falling over. But it's really impressive looking big tree. And if I go right up to it, when you go up to something, you should not be looking at it when you're going. You should look to one side, because the thing that you're... Oh, what a wind there is. Can't talk. When you're going up to something and you're looking at it, it's aggressive, so you have to look to one side and then turn in at the last minute. You can see it's not plastic, even though it's so big, many times bigger. If this would fall on me now, it could kill me dead. Even this star is bigger than my head, many times bigger. Even the bit in the middle, the round bit in the middle, is bigger than my head. It's huge. Look, there's my head. Well, you can see the perspective, but if there I put to there, you can see how big it all is. Huge. Biggest Christmas natural tree what I've seen. I never have seen this big one in London, what Norwegians giving every year to say thank you for help in wartime. At least somebody know how to say thank you. And it's really huge. It's really like a tree like this you don't see that in the forest every day. I'm sure it didn't grow in Holland. So I'm going now to go and do some shopping with my colleague who was also on conference. Right. So we've come to what's called Fritz. It's called Vlaamse Fritz, which means Flemish chips, because Belgium is famous for chips and mayonnaise. And here they are. We're not in Belgium. This is an Amsterdam croquette, but it's not far from Belgium. So we decided that it was local enough to be able to warrant going for it. I wouldn't be surprised if there are some Flemish people over there, because that is actually the same language, Flemish and Dutch. They just have a different accent and a few words different, like American English and British English. So this is the chips.